Welcome to Zimmerman Podcast, episode 39. Today, I'm sharing my best tips for continuing to strengthen your business when everything feels out of control. The truth is, there was no way we could have prepared our businesses for the COVID-19 pandemic. But now that it's here, there are things we can do to put in the work, even when life and business look so different than it did even just a few weeks ago. Because guess what? Even before this novel virus, we truly have such little control over our lives. And this virus is just a reminder of that. But there are still steps we can take to support our businesses in this time of uncertainty. If you've listened to the podcast before, you know that I believe that our lives happen in seasons. And this is a season of forced introspection, rest, and slowing down. But it's also an opportunity to get some much needed work done. You know the kind, the work you've been meaning to do, but always gets pushed to the bottom of your to-do list because there never seems to be enough hours in the day. Well, now you have the hours, so no excuses. Instead of resisting this change of seasons, let's talk about how we can use this time to our advantage. When this season ends, and it will, we'll be more prepared than ever to share our products, skills, and services with the world. All right, you ready? Let's do it.
Welcome to the Zimmerman Podcast with your host, CEO, wedding professional, educator, and mom, Jessica Zimmerman. In just 2 years, Jessica went from facing bankruptcy to taking home a six-figure salary. She turned a business-saving $100,000 loan into a $1 million empire. As a creative entrepreneur, a healthy work-life balance seems just as unattainable as a six-figure income. But Jessica Zimmerman is here to show you it's possible. With the right tools and insider tips and some hard work, your craziest dreams can become your daily routine. If you set some boundaries and commit to healthy changes, you can create a business and a life you love. So let's make your business work for you.
Okay, let's talk about what we can do. I truly believe that what we put out into the world, we bring back tenfold. It comes down to this: we can work or we can wallow. You need to figure out how you can move forward. It's easy to lose motivation in times like this, but building a strong business, it isn't about motivation. It's about commitment. You don't have to overhaul your business every day, but you'll make serious progress if every day you do something to move your business forward. I'm sure there's a whole list of things you can't do right now. You can't open your storefront. You can't leave your house. You can't fill in the blank with whatever it is you can't do. But there's also a list of things you can do and that you absolutely will do if you consider that this pandemic is totally out of your control and your only choice is to assume that this is happening for you rather than to you. Okay? So with that mindset, let's start rocking your business, okay? How are we going to utilize this time? Let me just tell you that during the last recession between the years 2008, 2010, these are the startups that were founded during the last recession: Uber, Airbnb, Pinterest, Venmo. Okay? Do not use this time as an excuse to not work. Some of the best businesses out there right now were born from difficult times. Okay? So let's talk about some things that you can do right now. I think the most important thing that you can do is create a website or update your website. Okay? I get asked every day to look at people's websites. And every day I look at websites that, man, they need to be updated. Okay? There are very simple things that you can do. You need to have an about page. It needs to have a picture of you. You need to have the right year for the copyright at the bottom. If you have a blog and the last blog that was posted was 6 months ago, that's a problem, okay? So we need to just take some time and update your website. Some of you don't even have a website. Some of you are solely using social media to get clients or to sell your product or to show people your services. That's a problem, okay? Social media needs to be the tool that gets people from social media to your website, okay? It's just a bridge, but all your information needs to be on your website. So if you don't have a website, now's the time to create one, okay? So aside from creating a site or updating your site, updating your copy, you could also update your images, okay? So if you have images that you can get from photographers, that's great. If not, then start to take some product photos with your iPhone and use my presets to help them make look professional, okay? You can go to zimmermanpodcast.com/presets and grab those, or we'll have them on the show notes at the end of this episode, or we'll have them on the show notes over at zimmermanpodcast.com, episode 39. There are no excuses. This is the time to make this happen. You can also look at some YouTube tutorials to show you how to photograph some great product images, okay? Update your testimonials on your website. So, no matter what it is that you sell, whether it's a service or a product, you have testimonials, okay? I have testimonials from both brides and mothers of the brides and people that I've worked with in the wedding industry, right? So my floral work and my wedding planning work, I have testimonials from that. I also have testimonials from my online courses. Testimonials are very important. They are super important. People like to see that other people have enjoyed working with you or other people have enjoyed your product. So if you sell something tangible, maybe you sell artwork, you need to reach out to people who you have done artwork for or who have purchased your artwork and get some testimonials from them and get them on your website. There is nothing better than testimonials on your website. So batch working your blogs is super important. So this is a time, maybe you've got your website looking just the way you want it to, but guess what? You have some time on your hands. So figure out a blog plan. Maybe you want to blog once a month. Maybe you want to blog twice a month. Well, if that's the case, just sit down and figure out what that is. And let's go ahead and get those written. Get them written, get them scheduled. And so all you have to do is set it and forget it. And that way, those blogs will go live on the times that you schedule them. So once you're able to start work back as normal as you're used to doing in the past, you'll already have all this work done. And so the blogs will just automatically post for you and it'll be great. This is a wonderful time to work on your blogs. But blogging really is important, okay? Because what it does is because you are updating your website on a regular basis, it helps improve your SEO, your Google Analytics. It also gives you an incredible opportunity to pin stuff from your website on an ongoing basis. Pinterest is the number one traffic driver to my website, okay? And speaking of Pinterest, this is an incredible time to work on your Pinterest plan. Now, I have got free resources for both building an amazing website and creating a marketing plan with Pinterest. I will put both of those in the show notes that you can find at zimmermanpodcast.com, episode 39, and you can watch both of those free trainings, okay? Mark your calendar for May 7th. It's book launch day. If you want details on my upcoming book tour, like cities I'll be visiting, how you can meet me in person and get a signed copy of the book, you got to get your name on the list. This list will get you the VIP treatment. We've got awesome bonuses prepared, but only for those who have signed up. Go to sleepingwithastranger.com to become a VIP today. A few more things that you can do is update your branding. Maybe that's something that you've been wanting to do for a while, but once again, there aren't enough hours in the day. Like I said, now you have the hours, so there's no excuses. So maybe you want to update your branding. Man, I'm here to tell you, we've got 4 incredible episodes coming up here on Zimmerman Podcast where we are giving you so much good free branding advice from the woman who designed my brand. She is a brand strategist, she's an expert, and the next 4 episodes are going to be with her where we talk about branding and we give you so much good free advice. So maybe it's time to start looking at that. Another great thing you can do is perfect your client onboarding process. How are clients finding you? So I know in the wedding world, I needed to make that super clear on my website. So you went to zimmermanevents.com and man, I was able to tell them exactly how I worked who I was, who my team was. Here's my past work. Here's galleries. Here's testimonials. And here's my contact page. And here's the process to work with me. And this is what that looks like. And I was able to really streamline that process. So they fill that out. And then I have an email that is sent to them automatically. So I was able to figure that out. And then I was able to know from their response what I send to them next. I use a program called Acuity Scheduling. It's somewhere between 10, 15, maybe $20 a month, Acuity Scheduling. And that is what I use so that I don't have to do the back and forth between potential clients on booking a time to meet. And once again, you do not have to meet in person, but you need to meet face to face. Zoom calls or Google Hangout or Skype or FaceTime, whatever you have to do. But be face to face. People buy from people, they need to see you. But Acuity Scheduling, what that allowed me to do is take out the back and forth. Well, when are you available? Or when are you available? Oh, I'm not available that time. Well, I'm not available. Nobody wants that. So to be able to have a calendar where they can just click on it and schedule a time with you, man, that takes out so much time and it just gets to the point. I'm all about efficiency. Anything you can do during this time to make your business more efficient is what you need to do, which is why your website is so important, because your website should basically be working like a 24 hours a day, 7-day a week employee that answers all the questions that someone might have and just basically gives them everything that they need to know. Maybe you need to create a media kit. That's one of the first things that we send potential clients once they contact us is a media kit that shares exactly what services we offer and the details with all of those services and what it's like to work with us. And it just, again, it answers all the questions, but even in a more detailed way than we did on the website. Because now this is someone who is really, really interested in working with us. They've taken the time to fill out the contact form. And so we are going to give them even more information. We're going to look super professional because if that person reached out to 5 different floral designers that day, and I was the one who responded the quickest with a super professional looking media kit, they're most likely going to follow up with me and book a consultation with me. And so, because I got my stuff together, and if I've got my stuff together just on the client contact communication, well, then they're going to believe that I certainly have my stuff together when it comes to executing their dream wedding. So a media kit is super important, and all a media kit is a PDF. It's a fancy word for PDF. It's a PDF where you've got all of your information, in one place. And so if you want some help with that, we've got some templates and stuff over at the resource hub. If you go to zimmermanevents.com and you go to the education site, then we have a resource hub there with all kinds of information. This is an incredible time to build systems. So you have the time to do this now, okay? So any system that needs to be built in your business, this is the time to do it. Let me give you an example. When I was doing weddings, I would spend forever pricing setup and delivery because it needed to be custom done. I do not do a percentage or anything like that because I would lose money. And one day I looked and I said, this is taking me entirely too long. Every time I go to price setup and delivery, it just takes me too long. And so I spent 2 days, 2 full days, building a system, building a spreadsheet that basically said, how many vehicles am I going to need? How much is the vehicle going to cost? How many miles am I going to drive? And it would just auto calculate for me. All I would have to put in is that I needed 2 vehicles, and it would auto calculate for me how much I was going to charge my client for setup and delivery. And that took me 2 days to build. And now when I price setup and delivery, it takes me 30 seconds. I mean, it takes me just long enough to enter in a few numbers on the spreadsheet. So anything you can do like that, any system that you can build to make your business more efficient, now is the time. Finally, contracts, okay? Especially with events being postponed and canceled, there has never been a more important time to take a second look at your contract. Sometimes contract can sound like a dirty word, but I want you to think about a contract like a guideline for a healthy relationship. A contract basically says, this is what we can expect from each other. For example, if I had an event that needed to be moved due to COVID-19, I would encourage the couple to reschedule and I would keep their 50% retainer because that deposit retained their wedding date. I've already spent time meeting with that couple, doing a venue tour, sourcing rentals, planning a flower order, organizing contract labor, etc. I not only deserve to be paid for that time and to be able to pay my employees for that time, but my contract says that the 50% retainer is non refundable. If I don't stick to my word with this and I refund that deposit, then how could they ever trust me again? It shows that my contract doesn't actually mean anything. The truth is, they signed the contract just like you did. You both owe it to each other to stick to the parameters laid out in the contract. If you need a starting point for your contract, you can see my exact events contract in the Resource Hub. This is specific to my work and my state, but it's a good place to start. Just make sure you have your attorney look over it and tweak it so it holds up in your area. If you want some guidance on where to start, go to the Resource Hub and grab a few resources like a floral pricing guide, email templates, contracts, and more, and get a special 25% off with code DOWORK! That's DOWORK! And you'll get 25% off. So here we are, out of nowhere. You have been given the gift of time. This is literally a once-in-a-lifetime event. How are you going to use it? Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Zimmerman Podcast. I hope you feel encouraged and enabled to focus on what you can do in this new season. If you have specific questions or topics you'd like me to cover as we navigate this season together, make sure you send me a message at zimmermanpodcast.com/ask. I'll see you next time.
If you loved what you heard today, even if you liked it a lot, you should subscribe and leave a review. We'll see you back here next time in the Zimmerman Podcast.